Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
Needs to win tonight to get into the playoffs.
Ted Beal ready to kick off. Alma Bryant defending the south end. There's a crosswind tonight. Murphy ready to receive to get this one started. We're underway. And Beal will send it deep into the end zone. Out of the end zone, Murphy will start out at its own 20-yard line. Looking at the Bryant defense very quickly. And I'll tell you, I want to give them credit. They haven't given up a point this year. The line, James Hunt, Johnny Lee, Ted Beal, and Antoine Odom. Odom may be a tremendous standout defensive end. He's been a player of the week this year. Lewis Pollock, Daryl Richardson, who was the Crichton Optimist linebacker of the week, and Dwayne Lavelle having a great year at linebacker. Kenyatta Fantroy, Johnny Sweat is one of their top tacklers. Quinteri Edwards and Chris Wilkerson on defense. You'll hear their names a lot. First play of the game, Murphy out of the eye. Quarterback Zach Lee from his own 20. We're underway. Handoff goes to Trevell outside right to the 25, to the 30, and out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And a first down is Quinteri Edwards on the tackle. The Murphy offensive skill position. Zach Lee's been in there at quarterback. Golston's their leading rusher. Evans replacing the injured Tyson Hale, though he sees a lot of action. Hyde is very dangerous down the middle. Abrams and Poe can catch it, especially Jason Poe. He's a great leaper. First down 10 at the 34. Derek Curtis's offense with twins to the left. Split backfield behind Zach Lee. And on first and 10 from the 34, the Murphy Panthers will give it off to Golston outside to the left. Turns the corner, 35 to the 40 to the 41. Picked up about 6 yards. Johnny Sweat on the tackle. There's the offensive line for Murphy. Travis Everett's been the mainstay. He's the man in the middle. Jediah and Bradford team up on the left side. Graham and Morissette on the right side. That time they ran around the left side, Mike, and they're picking up big yardage.
Yeah, there's nothing real fancy about either one of these squads. They're both pretty much straightforward blue-collar teams, if you want to. And so far, it's been power sweep right, power sweep left, and pretty good yardage so far for the Murphy Panthers on offense.
And when we have penalties tonight, you'll hear from referee Harvell Owens on second down and 4. Murphy will run the football, collision in the backfield, and Travell Evans and Zach Lee come together. They collide. They go down at the 35. And lucky for them, there was no fumble. That time, confusion reigned in the backfield. Looked like they were two-stepping one another on the dance floor, and Lee, the quarterback, actually fell underneath Travell Evans, but at least they didn't fumble the ball away. It's going to be third down and 4.
A couple of Bryant defenders made some good penetration, but you're right, Lee, it was not really that made the play, as Lee and Golston just kind of bounced into one another in the backfield, and it goes for a loss to back them up. Actually, I guess no gain on the play, so they managed to work it back to the line of scrimmage.
Terry Curtis in his 6 years just sent in injured tailback Tyson Hale coming back from an injury. Tyson Hale, the tailback, replacing Travell Evans. On third down and 4 from his own 35, Zach Lee, the quarterback, takes the snap, dropping back, has time, throws right, man there, caught midfield, and tackled immediately is Jason Poe. Another first down. Kenyatta Fantroy, a 5'8 senior, the point guard on the basketball team, comes up with a stop, but not before a big gainer takes it into Alma Bryant territory to the 48-yard line.
Basic down and out, but boy, it was executed beautifully as Zach Lee dropped back, fired away just as his receiver made the turn, and Jason Poe caught it right between the numbers for the first down.
17-yard gain for Zach Lee. He has now thrown for 435 yards this season. First down, 10, Murphy. 2 wideouts to the left. Out of the I formation, Hyde, the tight end on the right. They'll go up the middle. Golston 45-40. Golston to the 35. Tackle from behind at the 32-yard line. It was Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson playing hurt, who made the stop in the secondary. Golston with a lot of daylight, and another Murphy first down to the Bryant 33.
There have been those all season, Lee, who said this Bryant defense hasn't really been tested. I'm not sure if that's a fair statement with the likes of Theodore and some of the other teams they play, but certainly the Murphy Panthers have come out their opening possession of the night with a mission at hand.
Remember our night in Bryant when Theodore drove the ball down the field and lost it on a turnover, never to be heard again. On first down from the 33. Handoff, look out, the lights go out as the tailback was snowed under. Fumble recovered by Bryant. Evans fumbled the ball. Bryant comes up with it. What did I just remind you of in the Theodore ball game when Theodore drove it down the field, looked like they were going to score, fumbled the ball away. Same thing happens now. Murphy turns it over. Bryant's offense is on the field.
Well, we talked about it. This defense has been prone to bend but not break, and here they come up with a big turnover just when they needed it. Murphy with some great momentum, but now the Hurricanes on offense.
All right, it's time for the Bryant offense to take center stage. There's a pass, and looking to throw the football. Brandon Johnson downfield. Oh, it's incomplete. He had his receiver open on the play. It was Lynn Thompson, and how's that for Bryant springing a trick play, handing off to Brandon Johnson, left-handed forward, running laterally, and he had a receiver down at the 40, and he couldn't come up with it.
You know, both of these coaches commented on the possibility of some trick plays, and we see Bryant come up with one on their first offensive possession.
Lynn Thompson, pass was there, receiver was there, but one of the defensive backs stepped in front of him and was shielding the receiver, and the play goes up the middle for Brandon Johnson up near the 41-yard line. The big fullback, 6-foot senior, who's been offered a scholarship to Kentucky and possibly Florida State, we understand does not have exploding type power. He didn't play last week. Third down, 4. Handoff, and a double handoff, and it's going nowhere. They'll lose yardage. They tried to run the double reverse that time as the ball carried from Terry Edwards, stopped by Brian Evans, and how happy Murphy is to have Evans back in the lineup. He is one of their best defenders, Division I linebacker. He smelled the play and dropped Edwards for a huge loss.
Evans not going anywhere. He was right on the spot, and you said it. Lee knocked him for a big loss in a punting situation for the Hurricanes.
Evans has been hurt also. Very valuable defensive player. Low snap picked up by the punter. Dwayne Lavelle booms it out of there, and it goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So both teams have had a taste of offense one time each, 8:21 remaining in the opening quarter. There is no score. Bryant nothing and Murphy nothing, and I want to thank our sponsors on tonight's game: Pepsi, McDonald's Muffler, South Trust Bank, UJ Chevrolet, Dairy Fresh, Spectronics Incorporated, and the University of South Alabama. Some of our many, many sponsors, and we'll give you some of the others in a moment. No score. Murphy with a turnover. Bryant forced to punt. Now it's Murphy's football. The center's Travis Everett. He's a 2-year starter, 3.4 GPA. On first down and 10 from his own 41. He's got a split backfield. Zach Lee back to pass on first down. He's in trouble. He starts to run. He's back to the 40. He's got room. He's to the 45, and he spins and turns his way up near midfield, close to a first down. He turned nothing into a 9-yard pickup.
Just great athleticism as he made spin move after spin move to get away from Hurricane defenders and gets it out to midfield.
It'll be second down and 1. That was a fine run by the quarterback, Zach Lee, who can turn it on. He broke one tackle in the backfield. And finally, Lewis Pollock missed him and ridden down from behind. It's going to be second down and 1, the ball right on the 50-yard line. So far, Murphy has been able to run the football. Twins to the left, Hyde the tight end to the right. I formation. Handoff Golston, first down, and then drag on, loose ball, and it's going out of bounds way back on the 42-yard line. That'll cost him a first down. John Sweat, who's been a big play defensive back this year. Guys come up with a couple of block punts early in the year, did the damage there, and Murphy got to be pretty upset about that, losing the first down after Golston had it. And that was quite a hit inside. Lewis Pollock was also there, and that ball came all the way back from midfield, out of bounds, between the 42 and the 43.
It was Lewis Pollock, I think, Lee, actually, who knocked the ball loose. At first look, I thought it was one of the other players, but it looks like Pollock's the one who got the helmet on the ball and knocked it loose. It falls out of bounds, and now third in a bundle for the Panthers.
3rd and 9. Play action, Lee passing. Almost intercepted by Lavelle. That might have been 6 points for Alma Bryant. Lavelle could not hang on to it, but he stopped the play. And again, the Hurricane defense very opportunistic, forcing Murphy to punt. And back to receive this punt for the Hurricanes is Chris Wilkerson. And into punt is Zach Lee, the quarterback. Zach Lee will stay in and punt it away on 4th down and 9.
Are we surprised that this one is slowly but surely turning into a defensive battle? I don't think so.
Lee back at the 28-yard line. 7:23 to go. First quarter, no score, left-footed kicker gets it away. And remember, the Hurricanes have come up with a number of block punts this year, taken by Wilkerson running to his left to the 30, spins and twists his way and dragged down at the 34-yard line. So the Hurricanes, offense on the field. Gerald Thompson is the quarterback, Brandon Johnson the fullback. Johnson didn't play last week. Moore and Thompson are the wingbacks, and Robbins and Johnson, Keonis Johnson, are the wide receivers. When they go to the tight end formation, Dwayne Lavelle will come in. First down 10. Shotgun. Quarterback Gerald Thomas. Play action. Throws it in the backfield. Caught and trying to get away but can't. And dropped is Lynn Thompson. Thompson took the pass in the backfield, tried to go right. And guess who? Bryant Evans. Bryant Evans, what a year he has had. Bothered by a shoulder injury. But I tell you, that's his 9th tackle this year for a loss. And he is so important to this defense. The offensive line, Wilson, Lawson, Traherne, Dixon, and Sellers, although Wilson bothered by that torn ACL. Back to pass, quarterback Gerald Thompson. He's going to be sacked. He was surrounded at the 20, ran it up to about the 24. He'll lose another 2 yards. And so far, the Bryant offense going in reverse on 2 plays, Mike.
Boy, that time, his big fullback, Brandon Johnson, just about knocked him down. He did a pretty nice job to recuperate and get a couple of yards. And now they work again out of that no-huddle offensively with 3rd and about 20.
Handoff, Johnson, Brandon 30, Brandon 35, Brandon 40, first down, midfield, Murphy territory, tracked down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah,
when in doubt, give it to Brandon.
Go, 3rd and 20, just hand it to Brandon. He'll do the job, and boy, what a great job by his offensive lineman on the right side as they blow out a big hole. He's got a super seam, finds it, and then boy, up to a defensive back there. Archie Hunter with the unfortunate task of trying to run big Brandon Johnson down, and he finally gets him out of bounds.
Can you imagine if he was 100%? They say he's about 80 to 85 with a foot injury most of the season. Shotgun from the Murphy 44. Here's the pass by the quarterback. Thompson, man open, great diving catch. Will it count? No. Sprawling grab by the receiver, but the official right there says he trapped it. It goes as an incomplete pass down to the 20-yard line. The intended receiver, Quinteri Edwards, trying for the catch, but couldn't get it.
Edwards with a great effort, but we get our Comcast review, and boy, that is a close call. Ball might have bounced out, and looks like maybe it did, and certainly, yeah, good call by the men in stripes.
Brown caused that one. On 2nd and 10. Look out as the quarterback, Natalia Daughtry, came off the bench, running for his life to the right side. Bryant Evans in pursuit, and the pass is out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down. They made a switch at quarterback. They went with the 6'1 junior, Natalia Daughtry, who was the starting quarterback at Grand Bay last year. He was hurt in the spring and, in a sense, lost his job to Gerald Thompson, but he still gets in there to throw the football. But Gerald Thompson back in on 3rd and 10. Thompson from the 44, Murphy. Handoff to the other Thompson. Runs to the right. Good run. Down to the 35. Still running to the 30. And out of bounds. Inside the 30 for a first down at about the 27-yard line. He turned the corner, got the first down, and then some.
Well, boy, the vaunted running attack of these Bryant Hurricanes has certainly shown up on 3rd down tonight as they come up with their 2nd consecutive big gainer on 3rd down, needing a bunch of yardage, and they got it both times on the ground.
From the 30, the Murphy 30, they load up the shotgun for Gerald Thompson. He fades back to the 38, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for Antoine Odom, who was also one of the key players on the basketball squad. I saw basketball coach Mark Hubbard out here, and he has already started practice with about 8 players who play football.
And I tell you what, if Bryant can maybe get a little more pass protection, they have had some open receivers tonight. It's been difficult again for Gerald Thompson to have the time to get the ball to them, so we'll watch and see if they can work on that as the evening progresses.
No score, 5:34 to go. First quarter, Bryant's Hurricanes on the move down to the Murphy 30 on 2nd and 10. Ball in the right hash mark. Quarterbacking is now Gerald Thompson. Single setback, man in motion near side. That's Curtis Moore. Hand off Brandon Johnson, runs right, drives down to the 25 to the 24-yard line. He'll pick up 6 hard-earned yards against that Murphy defense.
And that is a tough Murphy defense that's making Brandon Johnson earn every little bit. And you're right, Lee, you mentioned before, what if he is 100%? I think head coach Rush Brooks called him maybe 80% tonight, hobbled with an ankle and knee that have both bothered him a little bit. But boy, he certainly doesn't show it so far in tonight's early effort.
They give him 5 yards, place the ball at the 25. Third down 5 for the Hurricanes. Driving into Murphy territory. Single setback, double wing. Man in motion, comes to the near side left. Quarterback on a counter play and met in the backfield, and down goes Lynn Thompson. Wade Lewis said, "How do you do?" And he drove him down.
Outside linebacker just trying to seal the corner, Lee. And boy, he went nowhere, trying to trap him a little bit, misdirection. But boy, Lewis stays his ground and boy, brings down the ball carrier in a hurry. Big loss, and now a 4th down decision for Rush Probst and company.
Let's identify the officials for you. The referee Harvell Owens, the umpire Harvey Bush, linesman Jimmy Kane, line judge Bill Etheridge, back judge Bubba Hawk. C.P. Newton runs the clock. We're going to get a field goal try from the 34. Billy Can, or this is New comes in to try it. They're going to fake it. They're going to run 30 to the 27 and drive down at about the 25-yard line. No first down that time as Quinteri Edwards is knocked out by Jared Hodge. They faked the field goal. They tried to go around the left side. They come up short by 5 yards.
And another trick play out of the Bryant Hurricane playbook. We've already seen a option pass by a running back, and now the fake field goal, but they come up a little bit short. Great job by Jared Hodge to again stay at home, watch for the trickery, and to make a nice open field tackle.
The place kicker who came on, Billy Can, does most of their place kicking, but they put a fellow by the name of New on the field to try that place kick, and then they faked it. First down 10 from the 25. Murphy on the offense this time, out of the eye. They're going to go with a counter play with the tight end Robert Hyde, and he's dropped in the backfield for 3 yards. This game, I'll tell you, they're not conservative. They went with a tight end counter play that time. Hyde has got tremendous speed, and if you could get out in the open, he's tough to bring down, but he couldn't break away that time.
And again, just great pursuit by this Hurricane defense, and maybe a lot of the misdirection that we're seeing is again a ploy or a tactic, a strategy by these both sets of offensive coaches to try to take advantage of a very pursuing defense, but so far they both perform well.
From the 23, following a loss of 2, and we may get our first flag of tonight's ball game. First flag is thrown. It may go against the Hurricanes with 3:29 left first quarter. No score. Lee Shervanian and Mike Grace glad to be here, and we're not alone tonight, Mike. We've come out here on some games, and there aren't many people, but...
Dead ball, encroachment against the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Harvell Owens with the call. Ball comes up to the 28-yard line for Murphy. Zach Lee is the quarterback. Golston and Travell Evans are the running backs for the most part tonight. Second down 7 after the 5-yard penalty in favor of Murphy. Wideouts left and right for Terry Curtis and his staff. They'll send Poe in motion to the left. On second down, they'll run Golston to the left. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to try to break another, but no. They finally brought him down back at the 28-yard line. He broke one and then was brought down one-on-one. And a fine tackle that was. And I'm trying to pick that up. Was that Brandon Johnson?
Yes, sir, it was. He hits his heart on defense as he runs on offense. And, boy, he smacked Golston something good.
Brandon Johnson going both ways. He didn't play last week, again, because he was injured, and he's been hurt since the second game of the year. I saw Bryant the first game of the year. I was doing the public address system, Mike. I saw them against Shaw. They played so well, offense, defense, specialty teams. And you say, well, that's a pretty good opener. Then they keep doing it. And now we get a timeout. First timeout of the ball game. 2:31 remaining. No score here at Ladd Peoples Stadium. We'll return to the Murphy-Bryant game on WNTM and Sports City 6 in 1 minute.
Would you like to find out more about athletes in your community? Metro Super Prep.
2:31 remaining in the opening quarter. No score, Murphy and Bryant here at Ladd Peoples Stadium. And believe it or not, the cars are still coming in. Now Murphy with possession on 3rd and long. Zeckley, the quarterback, fades back to pass. Has time, throws right. Man there, high, hit it. at the 35. He caught it and immediately was dumped very close to a first down. Robert Hyde made the catch, and that is very, very close. And it is a first down, says Harvell Owens, as dragging him down was Terry Edwards, the 6-foot senior, who's already come up with 4 interceptions this year as one of the leading defensive backs in picks in the Mobile area. He also had a 49-yard touchdown with a fumble recovery against MGM. Terry Curtis has taken Murphy into the playoffs every year he's been at Murphy, and this game tonight will determine if they'll continue with that. Mark, here's a handoff to Travell Edwards, dragged down, crossing the 39 to the 40-yard line as Dwayne Lavelle, top college prospect, teaming up with Brandon Johnson to stop Evans. Minute 40 remaining, first quarter. That was a 4-yard gain for Evans. Donnie Jones checks into the Murphy offense, replacing Jason Poe. Second down, 6. 1:23 remaining. First quarter. I formation for the Panthers. Jones in motion. Timeout, Bryant. Timeout. 1:17 remaining in the first quarter. Bryant nothing, Murphy nothing on WNTM and Sports City 6. Panthers 2nd and 6 from their own 40. Zach Lee at quarterback, drops back to pass, throws over the middle. Ho can't reach it at the 32. He was in a foot race with Kenyatta Fantroy down to the 30-yard line, Mike, as Zach Lee threw it downfield down the middle, going for the touchdown that time, and he couldn't hit him.
Boy, but James Hunt on the defensive line for Bryant was putting all kind of pressure on Zach Lee. He certainly paid the price for tossing that one up, but it was just a little bit too far out in front of his intended receiver.
Wayne Lavelle calls signals for the defense. We're brought to you in part by Johnston's Campus Supply, Providence Hospital, Quality Valve, Hills Children's Shoes. People still coming in. Cars lined up. 3rd and 6. Up the middle, Golston hit at the 40. Drags a tackler up to the 45, about a yard short of the first down. But what a great effort. Antoine Odom, a 6'6", 238-pound junior, made the tackle. Just stopped Golston shy of the first down. And if Murphy decides to punt, Zach Lee, the quarterback, will drop back. So Bryant may have held him again. Under a minute to go as Bryant, Mike, approaching his 29th straight scoreless quarter.
It has been quite the run, and boy, looked like it was in danger on the first drive of the night, but a turnover spoiled that for the Panthers.
Murphy's going to gamble. They're going. The power run to the 45, to the 46. Looked like he got it. They gave it to the tailback, Travell Evans, who went off the right side. It's going to be very, very close. A big gamble early on by Terry Curtis, the head coach, to go for the first down at his own 45. Now they're going to wave the chain gang in to see if the gamble paid off.
Elliott.
And there's a flag down, too.
Well, there is. Just noticed that on the far side of the field. Yep, far side of the field, and they'll talk about that now as
from my vantage point, it looks like he made the first down, but that's my vantage point.
It could be inches either way.
It is a first down. But I think that's because of the penalty.
I think that's right. The measurement.
Irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
Irrelevant. That's right. Going to be a penalty against the Bryant Hurricanes that will...
Got illegal participation against the defense. 15 yards, result in a first down.
Yikes. Mike, back in the Theodore Murphy game, late in the game, it was illegal participation penalty against Murphy that kept Theodore's winning drive alive on a 4th down punt. First down, 10 Murphy, 21 seconds remaining, clock ticking first quarter. They're at the Bryant 40. Poe to the right. Abrams left. Out of the eye. Poe motion left. Zach Lee at quarterback takes. Hands off Golston. Stripped of the ball. Loose ball recovered by Murphy. Back at the 43-yard line.
What a job by the member of the backfield in there as Murphy's heads up tailback. Travell Evans falls on the ball as Golston could not hang on to it. And boy, another sigh of relief for Murphy fans.
Third fumble, and that is the end of the first quarter. No score. Bryant nothing, Murphy nothing. The scoreless quarter string is up to 29 for Bryant. We'll return for the second quarter on WNTM and Sports City 6. The second quarter will begin at Ladd Peoples Stadium with Murphy having dodged another bullet. His third fumble. They've lost one. Golston second. Both times his fumbles have been recovered by teammates. Second down, 13. Murphy at the Bryant 43. Carr still coming in to Ladd for the second quarter. Timeout Murphy. Timeout Murphy as we begin play in the second quarter. And I know the coaches can't be too happy about that. This is high school football on WNTM and Sports City 6. Burned off the first 5 seconds of the second quarter. Zach Lee throwing a bomb to the near sideline and unable to connect with his wide receiver. And Murphy will be faced with third down and 13 yards to go. Tyson Hale was trying to run that football down to the 20-yard line. Murphy has burned off 2 timeouts. Usually they do a great job conserving timeouts to the end of the half, but that time using a timeout coming out of the first quarter. Third down, 13. Murphy at the Bryant 43. Zach Lee back to pass. Throws to the near side for Hale. Incomplete, a diving try. Incomplete at the 20. Defending on the play was Chris Wilkerson, so they try to come right back to Tyson Hale. And Zach Lee just about a yard or 2 beyond his receiver.
Looks like they like their chances working to that side of the field as Zach Lee threw it up twice down there. Came close both times, but could not find the completion. And now a fourth down situation for the Panthers.
Zach Lee averages about 32 yards a punt. Standing back at his own 43. Chris Wilkerson for Bryant at his own 12. No score second quarter. Gets the kick away, high, spiral, and they're going to let it bounce at the 5 into the end zone. Bryant's football at its own 20-yard line. No score, 11:40 remaining in the second quarter as the Hurricanes will take over. They'll be talking about this game all season long, but more so the attendance tonight.
Boy, it is something else. I'll tell you what, the visitors' side tonight behind those Bryant Hurricanes, Lee, is easily 2/3 full, maybe even more than that.
Mike, this may be the second biggest crowd this football season, second only to the 50th anniversary of the Senior Bowl. First down 10 from the 20. Handoff goes to the left. Brandon Johnson can't find any running room at all. He is just overpowered. May have even lost a yard. And again, Brian Evans right there with a lot of help.
Boy, Brian Evans has been a busy man in this first half tonight. Certainly been the ringleader on that Panther defense. And boy, to stuff Brandon Johnson like that, quite a nice start to your defensive stand.
This is WNTM Mobile. Robert Gardner, engineer-producer. Steve Thomas and his fine crew with the pictures. On second down and 10. And they'll turn it over the corner on the left side, but closing the door on the left side and preventing that big gainer. Murphy defense able to catch up with Lynn Thompson as they tried to circle to the outside. Actually, that was Moore that time. Curtis Moore tried to go left, and he got up to about the 22-yard line, and that is all.
Yeah, that is a nice job from the secondary as Archie Hunter, Jared Hodge, Jamie Walker all coming up to kind of force the play back inside. They get some help and shut down the Hurricane rushing attack.
Third down and 8. Back to pass. Thompson throws to the near side. Lost one in the air. Receiver there. Incomplete. Incomplete as the intended receiver was looking one way, and that pass went over his shoulder, and he was never able to find it. That was Alan Noble, a junior, who was open but couldn't come up with it.
And Lee, I think you're right. Don't think he ever saw the ball coming, and it's too bad. If he could have looked to his outside shoulder, he had it and about 3 or 4 yards on the defender.
I'm only guessing, but it looked like he lost it in the lights.
Could have been.
Lavelle to punt for the second time tonight. Gets a perfect snap, kicks it away. Line drive, backing up the receiver Poe to the 43, 45, midfield, Bryant territory, tackled at the 45-yard line, and grabbing him by the shoestrings was Brian Horton, a sophomore linebacker.
And a good job by Poe just to break a couple of tackles, get it beyond midfield, and set up the Panther offense in great shape.
Murphy at the Bryant 45. Murphy has had the better field position in the first half, and Murphy's been a very high-scoring team in the first half this year. They have outscored their opponents in the first half. Listen to this, Mike, 123 to 10.
Wow.
First down 10 from the Bryant 45. Golston up the middle, hit at the 44, down at the 43. Somebody missed him at the 44, but he could go no further than the 43. We'll give him 2. Under 10 minutes remaining, second quarter. Game brought to you in part Gleam Color and Design Center, Zogby's Uniforms, University of South Alabama, South Trust Bank, and Dairy Fresh, the best in the land. And we have the best matchup in Mobile. I tell you what, Sports City 6 ratings may zoom if everybody here watches this game Saturday at 5. It's second and 8. Murphy will run. Evans, counter, nowhere. Closed up at the 43. Ran into a rock wall that time. Leading the charge, Daryl Richardson. I met Daryl this week. In fact, I introduced him at the Crichton Optimist Club Wednesday session as the linebacker of the week.
And boy, Daryl deserving of the honor, at least on that play for sure, as he stuffed the inside big time, and the Murphy ball carrier got nowhere.
According to Rush Probst, the head coach, in his, first year at Bryant, obviously. He coached a year at Alba, coming down here with the realization that he would be the coach for Elmer Bryant. Says Richardson is definitely a Division II prospect. Third down, 7, plays with a lot of heart. Delay in the run up the middle, spinning away. Golston now tries to go to the outside. They catch him, and down he goes. And the 2, Lavelle and Brandon Johnson. They're 45 and 44, and added up, that's 89.
Boy, what a job by Golston to spin out of the arm tackle of Antoine Odom, but as soon as he got loose, again, both Lavelle and Johnson there to bring him down for good.
Zach Lee will stay into punt. 8:23 remaining in the second quarter. Tomorrow night, Mike and I go out to Daphne in the renovated press box, where a real hurricane did some damage. We'll be broadcasting on WNSP. Here's the snap. Zach Lee, left-footed punter. Low line drive, wobbly kick, hits at the 14 and out of bounds. He did the job. He got it inside the 15. Good punt.
Exactly.
For Zach Lee, and pinning Bryant back deep in its own territory.
Exactly what he wanted to do there, Lee, is he just aimed it for the old coffin corner, as they call it. Got it out around the 10-yard line, and will set up the Bryant offense in a hole.
Bryant, coached by Rush Probst. What a job he's done. I mean, need we say more? Assisted by Hammond Brownlee. Works with the line, the offensive line. Eric Collier, defensive back coach. David Faulkner, quarterback coach. Brian Giles, the running back coach. First down, handoff. Brandon Johnson runs hard to the 11-yard line. They're just going to try to keep it on the ground with Brandon Johnson and get it out of there. He gained about 2 yards. Craig Moss, the wide receiver coach. Scott Meredith works with the defensive line. Bill Sellers, the tight end, and the defensive coordinator and linebacker coach is Todd Watson. His dad was a longtime coach at Alba. It's going to be second down and 8.
And Brandon Johnson, the workhorse for the Bryant offense so far tonight.
7:30 remaining, second quarter, no score. Quarterback Thompson runs to left. Toss sweep left side. Brandon Johnson met at the 8. Plunges forward to the 10. Not much of a gain there. Jason Castino and to Brian Nettles. To Byron, who leads the team in tackles. Big guy at 6 foot, 255-pounder. Castino having an outstanding year. 2-year starter, 6'2 senior combined on the stop of Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, try to get him outside. I'm not sure if that's the way Brandon Johnson runs the best. Like to see him those quick openers right up the middle, trying to get him outside that time. But nice work by the defensive front of the Murphy Panthers to stuff him.
Third down, 8 yards to go for Bryant, deep in its own territory at its own 11. Single setback, Brandon Johnson. Thompson, the pass, going to throw over the middle. Incomplete. He tried to hit his receiver, Brad Robbins, over the middle on a slanted post pattern and unable to do it. It's going to be fourth. I think the adrenaline's running a little high with these quarterbacks. Most of them passes tonight have been overthrown and really very few completions.
Yeah, Lee, very good point. And we have seen some open receivers tonight, but so far the quarterback's just unable to get it in their hands.
Lavelle will punt out of his own end zone, maybe his most important punt of the night. 2 yards deep in the end zone. Good snap. Rushan gets it away high and short to the 38. Poe fair catch. Murphy's ball at the Bryant 38-yard line, but Lavelle had himself quite a rush to contend with.
Boy, he did. Nice job to scoop up the punt and get the kick away despite the big pressure.
Halftime, Southern Pickwick football, a review, or preview, I should say, of SEC football this weekend, and then we'll be back. Mike Herndon will drop in from the Mobile Register to offer his thoughts on this first half, and he's been covering high school football all season long. By the way, the ratings out today: Blunt number 1 in 5A, St. Paul 8 in 4A, Mobile Christian 7 in AISA, and we've got 2 top 10 teams out here tonight. From the 38, they run left. Here is Golston to the 30, to the 29, and looks like he's very close to another first down, and Lavelle is on his back. Another tackle for Lavelle, and a first, well, we'll wait. Very, very close. Either going to be second in inches or first and 10. It's going to be second in inches.
And a good job out of him to bounce off of one Bryant defender before Dwayne Lavelle finally brought him down.
Tyson Hale runs the play in, wide receiver last year, averaging 6 yards a carry, but he's been bothered by injuries. Poe to the right, and Tyson Hale is a wideout to the left. Evans, the deep back behind Golston, 2nd and 1. Evans runs to the right, looks like he's got the first down. He does, and then some down to the 27. Underneath the pile is the right tackle, Mario Morissette, leading the way for Travell Evans.
You say first down, Lee. There have not been a bundle out of him tonight. Murphy now with 5 on the evening, while the Panther defense has held this Murphy offensive unit to just 1 first down so far in the first half.
Darian Abrams checks in for Tyson Hale at wide receiver. Poe to the right, Abrams to the left. Zach Lee in there all the way at quarterback, 6-foot junior, JV quarterback last year. First down 10. In motion comes Poe to the left. They'll run up the middle, and Golston carries a tackler down to the 24-yard line. He'll pick up close to 3 yards.
Yeah, that tackler he was carrying was Johnny Lee, a 5'7", 180-pound senior. And Golston just toted him a couple of extra yards before he finally drug him down about the 25.
Told you tomorrow we'll be out at Daphne to see the 6A Area 3 champs to take on Foley. Daphne already clinching. By the way, 6A Area 1 in the playoffs will open up. I believe it's 6A Area 7 or 8. It's the group with Lee, Robert E. Lee, and Prattville in it. Second down, 7. Handoff, Golston to the right. Jumps over a tackler, then meets 3 Hurricanes, and down he goes. Loose ball, but they whistled the play dead. Not much room that time. Dwayne Lavelle, we've heard his name tonight.
Got a little help from some guys in the defensive secondary, but Lavelle was the first one to get there. Golston with a trap play off the right side tackle. Got some good yardage until he ran into both Dwayne Lavelle and Daryl Richardson it was there to help him make the tackle.
Third down, 6 yards to go for Murphy. They're at the Hurricane, 23, no score. 4:05 remaining in the second quarter. Murphy trying to become the first team this year to score on Bryant. From the 23, Zach Lee takes the snap, back to pass, looks to the left, throws, ball tipped, intercepted by Richardson, 23, 25, 28-yard line, and he's finally tackled on the play by Ferdinand Jediah. Fourth, well, actually, the second turnover, they had 2 fumbles they recovered, and that is Murphy's second turnover.
And didn't see it, but you're right, Lee. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. There's the big paw of number 99, Antoine Odom, who tips it, and Daryl Richardson comes up with a pick in the second big turnover to stop a Murphy drive tonight.
The Crichton Optimist Club linebacker of the week putting in a bid for another lunch this week, and I don't blame him. It was pretty good. It's going to be first down 10 for the Hurricane shotgun. Here's a fake handoff to Brandon Johnson, throwing the football, Thompson, and it's incomplete to the 40-yard line. as Gerald Thompson tried to hit first cousin Lynn Thompson, and they could not connect. And both quarterbacks are really having problems finding their receivers.
Well, you know, you talked about it, Lee. Nerves and just the emotion of this ball game. Certainly the biggest crowd I would guess any of these kids have ever played in front of before. And again, maybe the blood pumping a little bit too much for them. They are hyped up and have been overthrown, and even that one thrown behind the intended receiver.
Second down and 10. Here's the handoff. Johnson, Brandon to the 30, and that's all he'll get, a 2-yard pickup. And Mike, I was just thinking, let's hope the whoever takes the census is not doing it tonight in South Mobile.
Boy, there's nobody home tonight, is there?
Third down, 8 yards to go. Brandon Johnson. Game has almost been penalty-free. The only turnovers belong to Murphy, 2 of them. Third down, 8 from his own 30. Tyler Trahern is the center. Here's the snap, the throw. Caught, but no gain to the 30-yard line. A short pass on the left side. The ball was caught by Lynn Thompson and quickly hit by Jared Hodge, the 6'1 senior, a 2U starter. Was also quite a high jumper, as we have seen this year. He can really go up and get him. And he made sure that play went nowhere.
He certainly did. A great open field tackle. It was him or nobody, and he made the stop.
2:39 remaining. Second quarter. We've seen reverses. We've seen running back passes. Good snap to Lavelle. Kicks it away. High. Punt taken by Poe, running laterally to the 38, dragged down, no gain, fumble, but I think they whistled the play did. It's not like we haven't seen much on offense. We've seen counters, reverses, passing, but you got 2 outstanding defenses here.
That has been the story, and certainly not a surprising storyline for this ball game. We knew coming in they both were very tough, defensive-minded teams, and it's shown in the first half.
Sun's doing a real good job as a spotter tonight.
Not bad there. Not bad at all. Big Dan, it's all those years of Faulkner State working the Sun Chief basketball games.
Faulkner State will be starting basketball pretty soon, and we got an injured player on the field, and looks like Jason Poe. He was the one running the punt. So there's a timeout. 2:21 remaining, second quarter. Bryant nothing, Murphy nothing on WNTM and Sports City 6.
Would you like to find out more?
Wide receiver Johnny Poe now being helped off the field. Great job done by the trainers that come out to the high school games. Johnny Poe out. Donnie Jones in, takes a position on the right side. Tyson Hill, wide out. He was a wide out last year. Moved to tailback, now a wide out tonight. Split backfield, first down 10, Murphy at its own 38. Zach Lee at quarterback. He takes the snap, stumbles and goes down. And in high school ball, you can't get back up again once your knee hits.
Yeah, he just took that one and lunged backwards a couple of yards, and you hate that. Just lost his footing trying to come out from under center. But it does count as a loss. Has no chance to get back up. They mark it all the way back to about the 33-yard line, and a loss of about 5 on first down.
Big night of sports locally. The Mobile Mystics skating to action on the road. They'll be on the road tomorrow for the broadcast on WNTM, and Saturday night at home, homegrown hockey home opener on WNSP. From the 34-yard line on 2nd and 14, handoff Golston, breaks tackles to the 40 to the 41-yard line. David Golston just lowered his head and would not be denied. John Sweat, 6'1 junior, he is second on the club in tackles. Pollock missed a tackle. Brandon Johnson also there to help out, and Sweat covered up. Third down and 7 for Murphy.
But boy, we have seen Golston tonight be able to find some holes, and when he's got some running room, he's been able to use his speed and acceleration, get through them quickly. Just not a whole lot of room to run in the midst of that Hurricane defense.
Third down, 7. Panthers at their own 41. Out of the eye, wideouts left and right for Terry Curtis and his fine staff. Here is Eckley back to pass, has time. Odom tried to get to him, long pass downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. In fact, there were 3 Hurricanes around the football. Tyson Hale was trailing the play, and for Murphy, they are lucky that pass was not intercepted, although really, if it had been, it probably would have been like a punt.
As good as a punt for sure, but Zach Lee, boy, took another beating from Antoine Odom. Some great pressure from him, and Lee just put it up. Triple coverage, but no one able to come up with it.
And again, Murphy forced to punt. Zeckley drops back to the 26-yard line on 4th and 7 after the long pass was incomplete. Here's the snap. Here's the rush. And he gets it away, a low-line drive kick, fielded at the 27-yard line and run back to the 30, up near the 33-yard line before the tackle is made. And stopped on the play is the Hurricanes' Clarence Durgins. Clarence Durgins on the short return. 41 seconds to go. Let's see if Coach Rush Probst will just say, let's run it out and get into the locker room. And they do have nice locker rooms here.
Well, if nothing else, it looks like the scoreless streak is going to 30 quarters, Lee.
30 quarters without a point. Waiting on Bryant to snap the football. And I don't think anybody here would be surprised at a scoreless first half. Here's the snap. Thompson back. Runs into the pocket. Fumbles the ball. And it's recovered by Nettles. With 33 seconds remaining in the first half. And now Murphy has the football deep in Bryant territory and a chance to get on the scoreboard as Thompson was hit. Nettles was there to recover.
It was Jason Casino that wrapped him up and knocked the ball loose, and teammate Nettles there to pounce on it. And maybe we spoke too soon about those 30 scoreless quarters. Still 33 seconds left here in quarter number 30.
Murphy has one timeout remaining. Panthers ball on the first turnover for Bryant. Zeckley at quarterback. Everett is center. Gonna run Golston 30. Golston to the 25. And Golston straight ahead for about 8 or 9 yards. I know what Terry Curtis is thinking. If we can get close enough and get his field goal kicker in there, Amir Zuzo, who's kicked 2 out of 3. Ball's at the 25. He's got the one timeout. They're down to 15 seconds. They still can get a playoff and then call a timeout. 2nd and 1 from the Bryant 25. And now Murphy will burn up the timeout. Its last timeout will keep it right here with 7 seconds to go. As coming onto the field, I believe, well, nobody's come onto the field as a place kicker right now. But Mike, there's a very interesting story out here tonight. I got a press release. I want to thank Chris Smith, the program director for WNTM. Gave me this release today. Came out of the Catholic Social Services Refugee Resettlement Program. The 2 place kickers out here tonight. Terry Curtis now talking to the Murphy team. The 2 place kickers, Amir Zuzo for Murphy, Billy Can for Elma Bryant, are both immigrants. Zuzo and his family fled Bosnia, Yugoslavia. He's on there now. Can came in from Cambodia. Quite a story.
Incredible story that you find right here in the port city.
They're going to try to be the first team to score on Bryant. It will be a 41-yard placement. Zuzo will go for 3 from the 41. The ball placed at the 31. Let's see if he can make it. Timeout, Bryant.
That's icing, shall we?
Wow. You'd think this was the last play of the game.
Well, I tell you what, the way these defenses has come up with, 3 points could be all we get tonight. So it's
another interesting story, Mike. I got to point out, because I just spotted it. The holder is the quarterback who's been hurt, Josh Gilmore, who has been out of the lineup.
Has been out of the lineup, but is in there tonight to hold for this upcoming field goal attempt. And boy, just a great way to wrap up what has been a competitive first half between these 2 teams.
Again, all around us, playoff atmosphere. First time that I've looked up, I don't see cars still coming in here. What a turnout tonight. Everything it's been built up to be, and the fans have responded. It's going to be a while before we get out of here tonight. But I don't care. It's nice to have it. Zuzo will try a 41-yard field goal.
Yeah,
Gilmore is the holder.
Usually we get these Thursday night Ladd Stadium evenings to ourselves, Lee. It's nice to be sharing it with a big crowd tonight.
They'll kick it off the far hash mark, the right hash mark. No score. Going for 3. Now what? Official steps in, the referee, timeout, Bryant.
Well, make him think about it a few more
Now
minutes.
they've used up their last timeout.
Got the timeouts, only 7 seconds left on the clock. You play it by the book, that's what you do. You make the guy wait.
Hey, Rush Probst, he knows what he's doing out there. So does Terry Curtis. Now look, last week, Mary G. Montgomery tried, I think, a 27-yard field goal on the last play. and I believe it was either blocked, but it wasn't any good. MGM trying to become the first team to score. The game was over as far as score goes, but they tried a field goal and couldn't make it. And that's about as close as any team has come to scoring against Alma Bryant.
Have not been that many opportunities for teams against this Hurricane defense this year.
For the third time, the Murphy specialty team comes back on the field. No timeouts remaining for Bryant. They'll line it up on the right hash mark at the 31 for a 41-yard effort. And this is only the end of the first half. Zuzo, 2 out of 3 this year, 46, 40, and 32. He's 3 out of 3. Here's the kick. It's high, it's long, and it is no good. It is no good. Off to the right side. I believe it had the distance, but it was off to the right side. He just missed it. He was 3 out of 3 coming in. This one just missed it to the right side by a yard or two. Otherwise, it would have been 3-0, but as it is, Zuzo's first miss of the year. Halftime has hit us. No score. Bryant nothing, Murphy nothing.
And really good job by Josh Gilmore, the injured quarterback that you mentioned, who came in to hold on that play. Snap was a bit high, but he got it down, got the laces turned, and Zuzo got a good leg into it, just couldn't quite get it back across from that far right hash mark. You'll see he did have the distance by 0.23 yards. It was definitely long enough, but working from that far hash mark, it just never came back. And there you go. It is 30 quarters of scoreless football for that Bryant defense in 98.
Mike, normally at this time when you look at the highlights,
yeah,
there are no offensive highlights. There are no highlights to recap.
Well,
so,
not to say that there haven't been highlights.
There have been, but no scoring highlights.
But no scoring for sure. We'll kind of look at it. It has been a defensive first half, no doubt about it. The Murphy Panther offense able to come up with 5 first downs unofficially in the first 2 quarters. The Bryant Hurricane offense, on the other hand, just 1 first down in the first half of the ball game, Lee. And I tell you what, going to be interesting to see. We talked about possibility of trick plays. We saw some of them. What will these two?
They're estimating between 15, 16, maybe 17,000. A fantastic turnout from the Bayou tonight as Murphy and Bryant have battled to a scoreless tie. We get close to the second half.
And Lee Shervanian, a defensive battle. Just look at our first half stats unofficially on the ground tonight. Murphy with 20 carries for 67 yards, averaging a little better than 3 yards per carry. And for Bryant, about the same numbers, 14 carries for 54 total yards on the ground, and average just under 4 yards per attempt. Both squads difficulty throwing the football tonight. Don't know whether those quarterbacks just pumped up or just exactly what it is. Murphy tonight and quarterback Zach Lee, 2 for 8 through the air, has come up with a total of 25 yards, so an average of 12.5 yards per completion. And as far as Bryant goes tonight, quarterback Gerald Thompson just 2 out of 9, but that's for a combined total of -7 yards, so he's averaging -3.5 yards per completion. Both teams have been close to hitting the big home run ball in the first half, and it's just a matter of whether they can come up with it. Again, you look at the offensive drives for both teams. Murphy was able to come up with 47 yards of total offense on their first drive, put together several first downs, but a turnover squelched that drive for them. Next drive, they go 3 and out. Next, it's an 11-play, 32-yard drive, but again, a turnover spoils things for them. And then they go 3 plays, 5 plays, 3 plays, and 1 play there at the end of the half. For Bryant tonight, it's really been just 1 sustained drive. They opened up 3 plays and out, had 1 total yard in their first drive, but they came back on their second offensive possession tonight, racked up 38 yards on 10 plays, but had to turn it over eventually. And since then, it's been 3 and out every time for the Bryant offense. So I'm sure Russ Probst and his offensive staff at halftime trying to come up with some way to get that Hurricane offense rolling.
Jamie Walker will tee it up for Murphy as the Panthers defend the south goal, kicking off to the Bryant Hurricanes. Back to receive for Bryant. They usually send back Kenyatta Fantroy. Also trying to pick up some of the players that are out there right now, but Fantroy appears to be the player in the middle. Second half ready to unfold at Ladd People Stadium. No scores. We begin the second half. Ball punched down to the far side, hits at the 20-yard line and fielded at the 15. Run back, nice job of weaving and dancing up to the 30. Look at this run to the 40. That's Fantroy, and Fantroy out of bounds up near the 43-yard line. Quick feet, able to elude tacklers, dancing and darting. Great run back.
You said it. Kenyatta Fantroy picked that one up on the far hash mark and dipped a bit, dove a little, found some nice yardage up the left sideline, and has the Hurricanes in great field position.
Center is Tyler Trahern. Quarterback, Gerald Thompson. Behind him, fullback Brandon Johnson. Out of the double wing, Johnson runs hard to the 45, slashes his way up near the 47-yard line. He'll pick up a few yards. Give him 4 on the carry.
On that first half for Brandon Johnson, 7 carries for 46 yards now. So a gain of 4. He's hit the 50-yard mark now.
Defensively for Murphy, the line, Casino, Easley, the nose guard, Nettles. Linebackers, Lewis, Rollins, Mason, and Evans. The backs, Jackson, Hunter, Hodge, and Walker. Second down. Here's Brandon Johnson to the right, 45, 40, a foot race, 30, 25, and finally collared out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Learchie Hunter saved the day, at least temporarily, for the Murphy Panthers in a foot race. For a guy who's hobbled, he sure turned it on. Brandon Johnson.
Think back to the first half, Lee, on third and a bundle. They ran pretty much the same play. Brandon Johnson off right tackle. He had a big gainer for the first down on that drive, and this time wide open down the right sideline. And without the game-saving tackle by Hunter, the Hurricanes are on the scoreboard.
Deepest penetration of the game for any team. Down to the 8. On first and goal, Thompson under center. The single setback, Lynn Thompson. Toss sweep, Lynn Thompson trying to circle left to the 10, to the 9, and down he goes. He may have lost a yard. Quick reaction that time by Brian Evans, and Jared Hodge helped out.
Boy, nice job by the outside men on that Murphy defense to seal that corner, not let Thompson get around there, and they stuffed him for a loss of a couple.
Second and goal from the 9-yard line for the Bryant Hurricanes. No score in this game. They average 40 points a game to lead the county. Their defensive prowess leads the county. Big goose egg. Single setback. On second and goal, Thompson takes. Handoff Johnson. Johnson drives down to the 6 where he's buried. And on top of him is Jared Hodge.
Hodge and Jamie Walker up from their safety positions to put the hat on big Brandon Johnson. And boy, what a guy to try to stop when he's got a head of steam going.
Murphy's playoff picture hangs in the balance. The outcome of tonight's game. They win, they go as 6A Area 1 champs to take on the runner-up in 6A Area 6. They lose, they'll spend the postseason playing other sports. 10:01 to go, third quarter. Bryant, third and goal from the 6. Single setback, Brandon Johnson. They're going to run Johnson to the left, 5 to the 4, and down he goes at the 3. It'll be fourth and goal from the 3.
Another good job by the Panther defense on the right side for Byron Nettles, Jared Easley, Jason Casino along that defensive front. Not giving much ground that time.
They could go for 3. It'd be like an extra point for Billy Cann. Looks like they're going to go fourth and goal from the 3. They want 6. Lynn Thompson out to the left. Quarterback Gerald Thompson takes. Johnson, Brandon to the goal line. Did he get in? I don't think so. Let's see.
No signal yet.
No signal yet. I think Murphy stopped him inside the 1. They did. They stopped him inside the 1. And the Panthers will get the football 99.5 yards away, but at least keeping Bryant off the scoreboard.
Boy, they come up just short of the goal line as Brandon Johnson got a nice hole and found some yardage, and it looks like he's just right at the goal line in the shadow of the goalpost, but not far enough to break the play.
So Zach Lee comes off the bench to quarterback Murphy, realizing that he cannot afford a mistake at his own goal line, 99.5 yards away. Zach Lee, the quarterback, his running back standing in the end zone on first down and 10. Zach Lee will keep it himself and plunge forward up to about the 2 or the 3 yard line. Taking the safety route and just keeping the football, avoiding a handoff. They fumbled 3 times in the first half and lost 1.
Looks like Johnny Morissette, one of the reserve linebackers in there, to kind of stuff Zach Lee once he got it out to the 3 yard line. But boy, down here, every little yard helps. Trying to get his running backs a little further out of that end zone.
Brought to you by Pepsi, by McDonald's Muffler, by Johnston's Campus Supply, and by South Trust Bank. 8:33 to go. Third quarter, still no score. On 2nd down and 8. Lee hands off to Golston, starts inside, goes outside and gains nothing and lost a couple of yards, and he almost was tackled for safety because James Hunt was there to put the clamps on him.
And boy, was Hunt just trailing on the play, who came up behind Golston, kind of stutter stepped for a moment, and as he hesitated, James Hunt came up behind him, drug him down, and boy, they're right back where they started from, right at the goal line.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Tyson Hale checks out. Darian Abrams comes in with the play. Terry Curtis, who calls the plays. Bobby Curtis's brother, defensive line coach, who, by the way, used to be a head coach a long time ago at Grand Bay. 3rd and 10. Lee with the count. Zach Lee will throw over the middle. Intercepted. 5 to the goal line. Touchdown. John Sweat with the touchdown. 9-yard return. This guy has blocked punts this year and now comes up with the interception. Bryant leads 6-0.
Lee, you said it at the start of the possession. The job for Zach Lee not to make a mistake down in the shadow of his own goal post, and boy, he certainly does it here as he just tosses one up, and Sweat makes the play on it and has easy pickings into the end zone for the first points of the night.
At the 7:36 mark in the 3rd quarter, Bryant is on the board first on the interception. Here's the try by Ken. It's up, and it is no good. The kick is no good as Bryant's attempt at the extra point to no avail. And with 7:36 to go in the 3rd quarter, Bryant leading by a score of 6-0. Mike, nothing to describe on the drive. It was the interception that did it.
It was indeed, and we talked about field position and turnovers, and we see them both come into play on this one. As Bryant moves it down the field, comes up just shy of taking it in for the offensive touchdown, but for Murphy, working down deep in their own goal area. 3rd down. Zach Lee, quarterback, trying to make something happen. Throws the ill-advised pass, and John Sweat picks it off, returns it some 12 yards for the touchdown. And just like that, Bryant's got 6 points, and at this point of this game, that's a huge lead.
Ted Beal to kick off. 7:36 remaining, 3rd quarter. Murphy trailing 6-0. On the touchdown by Sweat, who's on a lot of big plays this year. The kick by Beal at the 13, fumble, loose ball, and who's going to get it? Still loose, still loose. What a scramble at the 15-yard line. And it is recovered by Murphy. Or is it? No, they changed it.
I was going to say they originally said it is Bryant's ball, Lee.
Yep. It is Bryant's ball. I lost sight of that ball because there were so many bodies around it. Let's see if we can pick it up in our replay.
Bounces off 3 or 4 different Bryant Hurricanes trying to get it, and I do think it's number 4, Clarence Durgans, the guy who finally pounces on it for the Hurricanes.
What a change of fortunes for Murphy. First to give up a touchdown on the interception that run Brandon Johnson to the left, and he has swarmed under no gain. He may have lost a half a yard. Tried to go outside. Murphy defense really put to the test now.
Well, the Panthers are, and especially stopping Brandon Johnson now, who's got a head of steam going on the night. 13 carries for 104 yards now for the big senior fullback.
That was one of the wildest scrambles. That ball just kept bouncing around like it was on AstroTurf, and quite frankly, I never saw the call by the referee to indicate which way it was going.
One of the men on the far side gave an early call for Bryant, but wasn't sure whether it would hold up or not, but it did, and the Hurricanes have the ball.
From the Murphy 16, they'll send a man in motion to To the left, that's Lynn Thompson. Gerald Thompson off to Brandon Johnson. Breaks the tackle, then caught at the 15. Down he goes after a 1-yard gain.
Good job of Jason Casino down on that defensive front line to stay with it. Johnson bounced off on him one time, but Casino hung with it and drug him down for pretty much no gain.
Third down, 10 for Bryant, leading 6-0 and looking for more. Jonas Johnson checks in at a wide receiver. He's 5'7", he's a senior. They look to Rush Probst and his staff for the play. 6:20 remaining. Third quarter. They load the shotgun from the Murphy 16 on 3rd and 10. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Gerald Thompson runs out of the pocket into the end zone. Caught! Lavelle. Touchdown, Bryant. The tight end, Dwayne Lavelle, got behind the defense. It's 12-0.
And you wanted some offensive highlights? Well, Bryant's coming up with them now. What a catch by Dwayne Lavelle, stretching out to bring it in, protecting it as he hits the ground. Just a tremendous play by the receiver to make Gerald Thompson look good. What a fine touchdown pass.
Bryant has struck and struck quickly. And looks like they'll go for 2 after missing the PAT after the first touchdown just moments ago. They're going for 2. Load up the shotgun for Gerald Thompson. Takes the snap. Fading back. Throws end zone. Intercepted. Intercepted on a tip ball. And Murphy. Brian Edwards stops the drive for 2. But Bryant now with a 12-0 lead and 6:05 remaining. And a concerned Terry Curtis looking on, realizing that his offense has really got to perk it up now. Terry in his 6th year has been to the playoffs all 5 years as the Murphy head coach. With 6:05 to go in the third quarter.
And he's seen his team give up 12 points in just a span of a minute and 31 seconds, Lee. You said it, they struck quick. They did so with the interception return for a touchdown. They get the turnover on the kickoff and take it in on the 10-yard touchdown pass, or make it a 15-yard scoring toss. Gerald Thompson to Dwayne Lavelle.
And for Thompson, his 7th touchdown pass of the year. And perhaps none bigger, at least to this stage of his career. And again, Beal will tee it up. Kicking off to Murphy. 12-0 now. Kicks it downfield. This ball twists and looks like it's headed out of bounds, and it does at the 21. So Murphy has an option. Take it at the 35 or get a redo. 12-0 Bryant. Striking with the force of a hurricane in less than 2 minutes. 2 turnovers. Murphy now with 4 turnovers.
On the kicking team, it's declined. Take the ball at the 35-yard line. First down.
The voice of Harvell Owens, but 4 turnovers now against Murphy in this game. Bryant with 1.
Well, it's been the difference in the first half. The Panthers were able to overcome those turnovers, but the 2 here early in the second half have been the difference as the Bryant Hurricanes have turned them both into touchdowns.
Josh Gilmore takes over at quarterback. He's been out with injuries. He had a leg injury a couple games ago. They'll go to Golston. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. Nowhere to go. Darrell Richardson with the tackle.
Yeah, he's there, and Lewis Pollock to back him up, give him some help to bring out Golston in a hurry. And the clock ticking on this Murphy offense.
Golston averaging almost 8 yards a carry, but he's found going a little tougher tonight against the Hurricanes, who are looking for their 31st straight shutout quarter. Let's see if Josh Gilmore, the 6'1 transfer from Mobile Christian, the senior, can get it going on 2nd and 10. Gilmore takes the snap, goes to the deep back to Evans, runs to the right 40, 45 first down, midfield, into Bryant territory, out of bounds on a great run by Travell Evans, down to the 46-yard line or thereabouts. Travell Evans last year starting tailback, with Quinteri Edwards trailing and finally nudging him out.
And what a big boost for the Murphy Panther offense. They get Quinteri out on the far side, or pardon me, it's Travell Evans on the far side, who gets off tackle, finds a big hole, gets into the secondary, and gets a good yardage into Bryant territory at the 47.
That was a run the Murphy offense needed. They needed some adrenaline, kick in the offense, a jump start. Maybe that's it. 1st and 10 at the Bryant 47. Josh Gilmore takes. Hands off to or Golston, and he drives, and I mean drives it down to the 40-yard line.
Boy, earning every one of those yards, isn't he, Lee?
Gets 8 of them. It was just offensive line pushing back the defensive line. Everett, Graham, Bradford, Morissette, Jediah working hard inside to get Golston some room. Tyson Hale runs the play in on 3rd, or make it 2nd down and 3, and the ball at the Bryant 40-yard line. Tomorrow night, Mike and I travel out to Daphne to see the Trojans against Foley for WNSP FM, Sports Radio 105.5. Here's Travell Evans to the outside. First down, 35-30 to the 29-yard line, where he's finally wrestled out of bounds. Big runs by Travell Evans on this drive. Brandon Johnson is over there to make the tackle.
A gain of 11 for Travell Evans, and you're right, Lee. The offensive unit of the Panthers kind of alternating back and forth between Golston and Evans, and it's been a good combination on this drive.
At the 30, 4:18 remaining, 3rd quarter. Split backfield, 2 wideouts left for Gilmore. The quarterback for Murphy, seeing his first action in weeks. Toss sweep to the left. Golston 30, 25, and hammered down at the 22-yard line. He picked up 8. They're picking up big yardage on first down runs, but Golston a little shaken up. This time they ran Golston from the tailback position. And finally, Brandon Johnson. Does he ever get a rest?
Tell you what, has been a busy camper.
Golston comes out. He'll come to the sideline. Travell Evans back in there at tailback on 2nd and 2 from the Bryant 22-yard line. Murphy had to come from behind to beat Viger here earlier this season. 3:30 remaining, 3rd quarter.
And they try to get a Hurricane defender out of the huddle as quickly as possible, but not soon enough. The Yellow Hankies come out, and that's going to be a penalty.
Now, dead ball, illegal substitution on the defense, 5-yard penalty, results in first down.
First down, Panthers, the easy way. Gilmore this year has thrown 25 passes, completed 18, 214 yards, but he hasn't thrown any yet. Running it on the ground. From the 17, the Hurricane 17. Gilmore takes. Evans fumbled the ball.
Yes, sir.
And a loose football. Let's see who's got it. Murphy's already turned it over 4 times. Make it 5. Turnovers are killing the Panthers. Johnny Lee was right there to recover.
Johnny Lee, unit member that you see trailing on our Comcast Sports City 6 replay. He was trailing on the play, and as the ball came loose, he's the first one to pounce on it. And you said it, turnover number 5 tonight for the Murphy Panthers.
And 4 have been fumbles. 1 interception, which resulted in the touchdown by Johnny Sweat. Rough 3rd quarter for the Panthers, giving it up for the 3rd time. Gerald Thompson from the 15 runs Johnson to the outside, and no room there. He'll gain maybe a yard, maybe 2. That is it. .2:57 remaining, 3rd quarter. This game brought to you in part by Spectronics, by Eddie's Wholesale Jewelers, by McDonald's and the Pritchard community, by Atlas Capital Mortgage, by Dairy Fresh, and by Zogby Uniforms. 2nd and 8. One of the biggest high school crowds in the Mobile area in the 90s. Ranking right up there with Blunt and Viger to the outside right. Trying to turn the corner. Edwards out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And pushing him out, Antonio Mason, the linebacker. It'll be 3rd down. Pretty good pursuit by Murphy's defense. Murphy defense has more than held their own tonight.
Yeah, they've really had their work cut out for them. Put in some tough situations tonight. Been on the field a great deal as well. And just the momentum swing here in the last 8 to 10 minutes of this ball game might have taken some punch out of them.
3rd down 4. Hurricanes at their own 23. To the outside, they'll run Brandon Johnson, wrestled down, shy of the 30. And not enough for the first down, but the workhorse trying to get it done. he did get the first down. My apologies. He did get the first down. Just enough.
And only Bryant's 4th first down of this evening, Lee. But boy, they have taken advantage of the right opportunities at the right times tonight. They've got the 12-point lead, and it's beginning to look bigger and bigger as the clock keeps ticking.
The incredible story on the Bayou continues to unfold. 12-0 Bryant, ranked 4th in the state of Alabama in 6A. First-year school. Handoff outside. Look out, Curtis Moore. Lights go out. Driving tackle by, you guessed it, Bryant Evans.
Boy, what a tackle. You said it, Lee. He was in the backfield waiting on that little counter reverse. And around the corner comes Curtis Moore. And good night as Bryant Evans welcomes him to the Ladd Stadium turf.
Zach Lee started his game at quarterback. I don't know if Terry Curtis will return to Zach Lee or stay with Josh Gilmore. Second down and 19. That play loss 9. This is WNTM Mobile. Robert Gardner, engineer producer tonight. Play action. Gerald Thompson rolls left, wants to throw, does man there, incomplete off Lavelle's hands. He was the one who caught the touchdown pass moments ago.